mic. I think now they can hear us.
Hello. Yes, yes.
I wasn't ready. I thought I was ready.
Got to get it together.
I'm sorry. Chat, let us know if we sound okay. Hopefully everything's
Hello.
coming through. Welcome in. I think it is a cactus. Looks like a cactus.
I think it's a green pirate.
Yeah, cactus with the pirate hat. I like that.
Welcome, and thanks for the follows, Marek, Milk Crafts. Who's Eddie?
I like it.
Yes, Green Pirate, confirmed.
I like green pirate.
Welcome in. Welcome to the dev stream today. We're really excited. Hope you are too. Thanks for the follow, Chris Fabian. Welcome in. Oh, and thanks for the first time chat. Yay, it's Plum. That's a cute name.
Yay, it is Plum.
Ben, do you have your food prepared? Because remember we said this was a mukbang?
It's so funny. I left my spicy noodles upstairs.
Oh my god.
Fortunately for the people tuning in for that portion, that will be later. It's a different stream. You're teaching me a lot about things I don't want to know about. I have my Stanley. I can drink water.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Thanks for the first time chat. Teariest? I guess that's how you say that.
Yeah. Teariest.
Teariest.
The most teary. There's Tyrion Lannister, but this is teariest.
Yeah, Plum says they've been looking forward to this. That's awesome. Yeah, us too. It's always really fun when we get to finally show something that we've been working on for a long time on the stream for the first time. Are you gonna offend them, Ben?
No. Or hello, whatever you prefer.
Neutral greetings to all. Thank you, Plum. Voyages with D, aka Da Vinci, welcome in. Always excited to see you in here. Awesome. We will go ahead. Hey, Grace. Welcome in. We'll go ahead and start with some intros. So for people who maybe are new to the stream, or this is your first time tuning in, I'll introduce myself. My name is Stephanie. I'm the producer on the team, and kind of a mix of everything. I figure out what we're going to be working on and when and who's working on what. I also do some UX design and help the team out with that. Playtesting, patching, so all of those kinds of things are what I work on. Ben, do you want to introduce yourself? It says audio team, but you're also more than audio team.
That's true. Do some audio, do some game design, do some lore work. I've been known to do some performance work, some graphics work. So sort of Unreal generalist, and really whatever they let me get my hands on, I tend to work on. So yeah, that's me.
And Kyle, what about you?
Hey, I'm senior environment artist. Lately working on boat parts.
Awesome. So yeah, we're going to be your hosts for today's stream, and we're going to be talking all about boat building. But first, we'll kind of go through some of the recent announcements and kind of what's going on with the live game. And then we'll transition into what's going on in the future live game. So recently, over the last 2 weeks, we actually did launch our November quality of life patch, which hopefully had a lot of really awesome things for people, both combat improvements, storage and inventory management improvements, and just a ton of different quality of life settings and bug fixes. However, we did go out with some bugs too. So we both made some balance and bug fixes during that live cycle, and we delivered a few patches last week. So definitely make sure you're on like the latest version. You should be able to see in the announcements channel what the version is. But we did ship out a bunch of both some things to address some feedback and some bugs. So we adjusted the tuning, the turning sensitivity on the solo scouter boat to make it a little bit easier to control. I think some people said the boat was like drunk, a little bit. A little drunk.
Go home boat.
Go home boat. Boats are no longer invincible to mines, so if you didn't see that before we fixed the bug, sorry, but you are now vulnerable to mines again. We fixed some issues where players are having some freezing while they're spawning in on the reef. We fixed some crashes that could happen when players leave a multiplayer session. We updated some of our messaging on the homepage because we still listed Twitch drops, but those are no longer live, but they will be coming back in December. So look forward to that. And swords could now actually be used to destroy the spire underwater. We added the ability for people to attack with swords underwater now. So if you haven't seen that and you're still using spear only and you don't want to be, you can now use the sword underwater and a bunch of abilities and stuff too. But so now you can actually fight the spires with the swords. We're still looking into some issues, but we also fixed some issues with players having invalid join codes or invite codes. And that did impact also their ability to join via Steam as well, so it wasn't just isolated to joining via join code. We're still trying to look into why some players are getting this issue, especially on like their first launch of the game. So if you are someone experiencing that issue, please hit us up in Discord because we would really love some more information about it because we really want to fix it. We also fixed some performance issues that were plaguing people when going through the crafting bench. There was like a big CPU bottleneck people were hitting when clicking on recipe tiles, so you put some fixes out for that. So if you were like, why am I at 2 FPS while I use my crafting bench? Hopefully you are not having that anymore. This is a general announcement that we just wanted to make sure to +1 for people who have been experiencing GPU crashing issues or your computer shutting down just while playing the game. I think specifically for like the AMD 7600 series cards. We have a setting in the game right now that you can toggle on, and we hope that it will at least mitigate your issues with crashing and allow you to play. If it doesn't and you're still crashing both, we would love you to come into the Discord and report that. We have like a kind of mega thread for that right now. But we also actually have another setting that you can try that's a little harder. It's not behind a in-game toggle like this one is. What setting is this? Voyagers with D. This is I think it's called Enable GPU Debugging under the Advanced Settings menu. What it does is it like turns off a bunch of like engine rendering features. So I would say only turn this on if you are crashing because it could make your FPS lower or have like visual impact to your game. But if you're crashing a lot, maybe you want this because you would like to crash less. So if this does resolve it for you, that'd also be great to hear, but hopefully it gets you able to play again. And if not, again, we can come into the Discord and we have another toggle that you can also do. And so hopefully we can get you more stable. And we'll still be working on a real fix for this. This is just a workaround, just to be clear. Just something to get you back in the game quickly. But I think that's the main kind of announcements that we wanted to. So just, yeah. And I guess one more reminder that right now, because we released that quality of life patch, we put the game on sale. But the sale is going to end tomorrow. So there's currently a 20% discount on the game. So now is a good time to buy if you've been thinking about it, if you've been on the fence, if you've been following along. So make sure to take advantage of that discount. And I think that is all my announcements. I'll check the chat, see if we had any kind of questions. Oh my god, Master Furious. That's what we should have called the stream. Damn. We fucked up. Damn.
I'm just in here making puns in the chat.
Awesome. Okay, but maybe we can get to like the real core of our stream, which is we have a big patch coming in December. We're hoping to add a lot of features to the game, and today we're showing you one set of these features, which is building on the ships. Ben, do you want to walk us through? Why are we doing building on the ships?
Why are we doing building on the ships? What's up, guys? I think really what's so cool about this feature is this is like 100% a community like derived feature. This originally started from a unintended bug in the game where you could place things on the boat, but it wasn't linked to the boat in any way. Just the boat would register as like a constructible area. So people, like, I think intuitively wanted to put things like a campfire, put a bedroll, build a little shelter on their boat. But we didn't, design the system for that. And then you'd move the boat, all the objects would stay, and it would discipline our players. And so we got a lot of requests from people who were like, "Hey, I was really interested in like building on my boat. Is that something you guys are like? I would love to have that feature as a part of the game." And what's so cool about that is basically players, like, even before we decided to take this on, players had found a way to build on boats. This is like, I think the innate desire to want to customize and to make it their own led them to do this. And so rather than kind of fight against what originally was an intended system, we decided to lean into it. And what's cool about this is it's like emergent game design that's community driven, that's like gameplay experience driven. Our players were outspoken about what they wanted, and so we decided to take a look at it and see if we could support it. I think two parts is it's not just about like customizing the way your boat looks, although that's a huge thing. But we also wanted to make sure that there was a functionality to this. Like, how would it like help you on your adventures? How would designing a boat and adding pieces to it help the echo that you're playing as? And so whatever system we came up with, we wanted to make sure that your boat doesn't just end up being like a vehicle, or it's not so expendable. It's really like an extension of your player identity. Like, do you want to be are you the kind of player who is like the gatherer, and you have this big barge merchant ship that is, loaded up to the gills with different resources that you can come home and start to craft? Or are you more the like enemy aggressor, and you want to go take the fight to the deep and show them who's boss? Or are you more the like explorer, and you want to chart the unchartable areas and go all around the oceans of Nera? So we wanted to make sure that those different player types could find a boat that like expressed themselves, and we had the flexibility to do that. So the first step is basically like, how do we achieve this? And the players had really indicated how the best way for us to do this, based on, we have a building system, we have boats, building is fun, boats are fun. Like, can we leverage a lot of what already exists to sort of help bring this system to life? Again, what's cool about this is it's a marriage of two of our core gameplay pillars, right? Like the customization and building that is, I think, so crucial to survival crafting, plus our sort of seafaring adventure, like linear direction of moving through this world. So it was really tempting, and I think the direction we ended up going is sort of, how can we use a lot of what building already does and its kind of underlying logic to help kind of strap this to the boat. And what's nice about it is we already teach players how to build. So I think what you learn about building on land, you can apply to building on the boat, and vice versa. Like, the rules are the same. So it's not this whole new system we have to teach you.
Yeah, I think that part's really interesting to dig into a little bit too. But the rules being the same, because we obviously had a lot of discussions too internally about like, should you just be able to like free build on the boat entirely, or should we offer like pieces? I wonder if you could dig into a little bit of that.
Yeah, I mean, when we started, the easiest thing you can do is allow players to build on the boat with no rules. And I think what we found initially was like sort of the same way that the frames, when you're building on land, the frames kind of provide like a base structure, and then some of the smaller details let you express yourself in a more fine way. We were finding that having some kind of like base like kit for certain structures helped you get to a kind of a initial like boat shape or a boat like silhouette that was exciting, and then you placing free building among that allowed you to kind of very quickly get to a kind of rough shape that you enjoyed, and then sort of dot in the details with certain things. So that was a really having such a robust build system already that allowed for socketing and allowed for free placing and attachment. I think we tried to utilize as much of that logic as possible. And a lot of the initial work was just sort of like a big what if question, because it was like, can we just like attach this to this? How does this work? If all of a sudden sockets were initially intended to not move, but now they do move, like what are the ramifications there? So it was a lot of, you could almost look at boat building as just an extension of our building system, because I think we kept so many of the rules the same. It's now just another like medium that you can go to. Yeah. So once we got through our initial like the technical need of like how do we think we can pull this off, we sort of wanted to look at like what from an output perspective, like what do we think we want our players to be able to do, and specifically the number one need we wanted to meet was the having a high creative ceiling, because I don't know if you guys have checked out our Discord and seen some of the community builds, but the possibilities are so far beyond what we ever intended and thought was possible, which is such a like a I don't know. It could be the coolest thing about it is you design a thing to do something, and then your community takes it into a whole other level, and it just is to see it like grow naturally like that and take a system beyond what you ever expected is so cool. And so we wanted to make sure that whatever we designed could do the same thing, had the same kind of like possibility for these wild or interesting or magical or above and beyond type of builds. So that first we wanted to have a really high creative ceiling, and I think that's another benefit of matching the build system is the build system already allows for a lot of detail work, going big, and so we wanted to sort of make sure that stayed the same. And then along with the cosmetic, it's also, again, we wanted to have functional stuff so that you could like maybe change aspects about your boat. Maybe you wanted more storage, maybe you wanted to go faster, maybe you wanted to try and like protect yourself. And so we wanted to, alongside the kind of, if you're not so much of a creative builder, maybe you want to do more functional stuff, we have options for you there too. So you have the form and the function thing. And then lastly, it's something we really wanted to try and like move towards is the sensation of your boat feeling like a partner and not just like a tool. We're hoping that allowing players to sort of invest more in their boats will create a relationship where I've put time into exactly where I want things to be on the boat. I've decorated it just so. I like went out and earned some new buildables, and so now I feel like this is like this is my rig. This is my partner out in Nera. And alongside that, we wanted spirits to play a part of that too. So we're trying to incorporate as much of the spirit world into this boat. So it's not just a practical object; it's got magical capabilities as well. So yeah, ultimately, I think things like expression and investment and partnership and community, making sure that these boat builds are something that people are going to be proud of and will be want to show, and then adventure, making sure that like you can take this custom build out in the world, test it against things. How does it work in the deep? How does it work in different biomes? Like those are sort of the big tent pole ideas that we wanted to hit with boat building. Yeah, I sort of sprayed a bunch of images here from our like initial designs, where we sort of just wanted to define certain areas of what would be interesting to build in a boat. Where could we maybe attach some things, and then had some really great initial concepts.
Yeah, actually, Ben, there's a really good
yeah.
question that I think you might be able to answer in this next part,
Okay.
which is how they all quote it directly, I guess. I put this in the suggestions, but want to hear Dev thoughts on it. What about modular ship construction, as in various ship parts to use, like different sails, different hulls? So maybe you want to, as you show this, kind of talk over how you actually expect people to be putting these, like with the visual examples.
Yeah. So I don't know how much to we can show. We'll show some later in the stream about how it currently works. But that's exactly what we decided to go with. Our process was basically we started placing things on the boat, and from our perspective, like what do I want most of all to attach to this? And so things like outriggers, things like sails, things like different bow shapes, things like canopies and platforms. Those all felt really fun and interesting, and like those were like the core needs for wanting to build a boat and how do you make a boat feel unique. So that's where we looked at socketing and more modular stuff to sort of apply like a quick shortcut. Because I think with free placement, you can really be detailed as to where you put things. But the benefit of sockets is like I think there's a strong base desire to want to put like an outrigger or a side canoe on the side of your boat that is in the middle. And so we can kind of like do the work for you by putting a socket there and allow you to very quickly like achieve that. So yes, to that question, that is basically what we ended up doing is we have a series of pieces that are more structural, like I mentioned, outriggers and stuff. And the idea is that you can lay out kind of a basic boat premise with different outrigger shapes, different bows, etc. And then from there, you can go in with free play stuff and maybe decide where your stations go. Decide if you want to put, flowers here or put a chair, and then you can take that boat out on the sea. Yeah, so that's an answer your question. And so down here we've got some. We're still doing a little bit of development on the different pieces, but we got most of it done. So showing we did some really wild and crazy builds, and then some more kind of like I think practical small builds to kind of feel what a system like this would feel like.
So I'm gonna zoom in on the images real quick with the outriggers and stuff.
Yeah, we like Kyle was leading the charge on basically designing like what could these pieces be, and went through all these really cool process of like developing what a different outrigger might look like, where should it attach, how do they work. We have three different hulls, basically a small, medium, large boat. So like how do we transition that one item across those three things? Yeah, maybe we could jump to Kyle and see if you can run through your setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Steph, should I share my screen?
Yes. Share your screen and I'll
Okay.
I'll pop it out.
All right, going live now. Let me know when you can see Blender.
Let me double check the broadcast. You're live.
Great. So one challenge we had to start off with was we had already built a few boats, and we didn't want to trash them completely because we had sunk a fair amount of development time into them, and we wanted to have a really quick turnaround for this system to hopefully get it out to you guys as soon as possible. So we were trying to figure out how we can take these boats that were built for a completely different purpose, which was to be sort of static, pre-made boats that look nice and organic and custom made, and turn that into something that could be modular. So we took a look at the boats that we had, and we thought, okay, well, like, so this is sort of the core hull, the central piece. And then if you remember, this boat used to have sort of a side outrigger on it before, so we thought, okay, well, that's a pretty logical thing to sort of peel off and make modular. So now that piece will still be in the build system. You'll still be able to build the same boat, but it could be attached on this side and this side, or one or the other. The bow of this boat was quite a bit bigger, and it had some larger protruding pieces on the back. We pulled those off because we want to offer players the ability to customize their bows and add some upper structures. So we took each boat hull that we had before and we sort of stripped it down to the basics. And from there, we started building on top of it. So as mentioned before, we have the same outer, let's see, outrigger that we had before. So this is available on either side. We started adding other designs like this one. So really kind of trying to think about something that's going to give your boat a very different feeling and profile. This piece can be attached in the middle, it can be attached in the back or the front of the boat, and again on either side. Really trying to think about how to sort of maximize the work that we put into creating this piece by letting you put it wherever you want and combine it with other parts. We also started to create a new class of components. So like you can build structures on the top of your boat. We split each boat, well, the two larger boats we split into three parts. So we have a front section here, a mid section, and a back section. And we built a couple of different classes of upper structures that you can mix and match. This is one example, the awning. We've also got this one is a bit more of an upper deck that you can sort of run around on. And in authoring all of these, one challenge was that we have a couple of pretty different hull shapes. and we wanted these pieces to work for every boat. Unfortunately, that did mean that we have to author specific meshes per boat hull because we wanted to have kind of a high fidelity look for these guys. We didn't want you to have to use exactly the same mesh for this boat versus the larger boat model that we have and the smaller boat model. So one big focus that I had was trying to figure out how to make all of these pieces really modular and build them in such a way that they can be edited and tweaked really quickly and non-destructively. So I'm not, like going into ZBrush and sculpting things and baking it all out, but just using a bunch of component pieces that can then be edited and moved to where we need them to go. So there's a little bit of upfront work getting that system put into place. But now that we have all these parts, it's relatively easy to build new pieces for the boat. So that's kind of, I don't know, I have a fun time building that sort of a thing. So you can see we've got these awnings here, but the same awnings on the larger boat, which we're calling the barge, look they look the same, but it requires a sort of larger profile. So that was a big focus that we had. Building the system is getting as many pieces as possible without breaking the bank in terms of just the amount of time that we need to spend building them.
Looks so cool.
One person asked, and I think it's a good time to show it since you have the Blender open, but they asked about, like, could we see some of the different hull pieces and how different they are? To see that.
Yeah, so right now we have three hulls. This one you may recognize as, what were we calling this one before?
Oh, the
middle one?
The trimaran?
The trimaran? Yeah, so this one used to have the two fixed outer hulls. We made this one a bit wider and more shallow to really differentiate it from this, and we scaled it up so it's quite a bit bigger than the starting boat here. And then we have the Scouter here, which was introduced recently in the Quality of Life update. So these will be the three that we start with. We'll also be supporting the Founders Pack hull, which is right here.
Which is, I think, really cool because now you'll be able to, like, both expand that boat. Though I think you'll probably have to be maybe choosy if you want the pieces to, like, really match. But also you'll be able to, like, put your carved, or I guess, like, deluxe, like, outrigger on your other boats, or your deluxe sail on your other boats too. So you can get a little more reuse out of those pieces, hopefully. I know a lot of people were, like, sad that there weren't deluxe skins for the other boats, so hopefully this helps with that. Awesome. Yeah, this is cool.
Good questions in here.
Yeah, do we want to start getting to some questions? I have a couple that I queued up. Love the game and being part of its development. Will you be making boats less squishy? I only use mine at the moment for decorations due to that.
I do think the health of boats is something we are going to take a look at before we release this. What we want to also introduce is a way to recover your boat if it does sink. I think the idea that if you invest all this time into, like, my baby, and then my baby gets owned by a stalker out in the water, we want you to be able to go out and get your boat back. So we are going to introduce a mechanic for you to be able to recover that boat. And I think we want to look at, exactly how much damage are your boats taking, because they're a little less expendable now in this approach. So yeah, that is something we'll be looking at.
Awesome. And then another question was from Voyagers with D. The big boat is currently, we have is so wide. Oh, let me get rid of this empty Discord window. It's so wide that it's hard to navigate everywhere. Is that being thought of with the Outrigger editions?
We just did a couple playthroughs evaluating width against our gameplay space. I do think that now that the boat, you can add or remove the pontoons on the side. So it should introduce, hopefully, the idea of, like, player choice, or how do I solve this problem? If you're choosing to use the biggest boat with the widest pontoons, you will run into issues where, like, I'm trying to take it maybe into the Great Woods somewhere and it's too wide to fit into this space. I think that's fun. I think that's interesting to, like, all right, this is my big barge boat. It can't go everywhere, but maybe I want to build my small scouter boat that allows me to go into these smaller places. Or maybe I need to actually, do I decide to nip off the pontoons and to make it more narrow to go through? So, yeah, there will still be a thing that you will have to weigh if with a boat that is supremely wide. But hopefully adding the ability to choose whether or not, like right now, the pontoons come with the boat no matter what. You can, with the new update, be able to remove those or choose not to do that. So hopefully the ability for choice should maybe like allow you to build a fleet of boats that have different purposes.
I think too the ability to like add storages to the other boats now too, because I think that was a big gap before. It's like, well, if I want to like be able to carry stuff, I need to take out the big boat. But now you'll be able to like actually within some limits like build storages on the boat too. So that means you could actually take your like smaller boat into the interior parts of the biome, and that's still like a viable kind of like lugging hauling option for you.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully more optionality. Another question was just curious, does the sailing mechanic change with these, or do they always need to have a sail/rudder to sail?
They will always need a sail. We considered this, but I think that there is something like practical and that feels correct about needing to have a sail on your boat. However, sails are going to be free placed, and so you can choose where your sails are going to go. You can choose the rotation of your sail. So for your build, if you want to put the sails out on the sides, you can do that. If you want to put the sails up on top of the platform, so up high, that's a Stephanie classic. You can do that. I think hopefully the optionality to be able to move your sails around will allow you to sort of customize what driving your boat feels like. We also have some boat stations in the works to let you be able to change whether your boat is a dual control, like you have to use the tiller and the sail, or a single control where you can control the entire boat from the tiller. So you'll be able to change that on your boats if you want to drive them separately. That'll be a thing you can build on your boats and change. The rudders currently are all stationary on the back of the boat. It was, at least when we just had our first suite of what we wanted to make, it was kind of challenging to imagine what a good in-world way was for players to put like a tiller type control anywhere on the boat, because typically the tiller is on the back. We thought about maybe some like captain's wheels and some other tools to let you do that, and that could come down in the future maybe. But right now, the sail is modular and can be placed and removed. More sails can be added. This can make your boat go faster, but the tiller is stationary and sits at the back.
Awesome. Another question. Let's see. I think this question is related to the boats, but I'm not 100% sure now that I'm rereading it. Are you going to plan ahead for the other biomes and their potential unique materials as buildable resources?
100%. What's really fun about this is I think often you start with a design and you say, okay, we need a sail A, B, and C. We need a hull A, B, and C. We need different parts. And then when Billy does a great job of working these into the progression, especially like the player story about like, we're still trying to tell the tale of, an Echo that wakes up alone in this sort of like, not a wasteland, a beautiful wasteland maybe. And over time learns about who they are, learns about their mission, becomes more capable, becomes more skilled, and eventually, turns themselves into this kind of, legend of Nera. And so through the progression, we still want you to feel that way. We want you to feel like the unlocks you get later on feel more advanced, and your character is getting the sensation of like learning about their world and becoming more skilled as a boat builder. So yes, as you move into the new biomes, we do take those materials into account and try to work them in as best we can so that your boat is able to feel like it's also being upgraded and is getting better. I see a Founders Pack question. Yes.
Yeah, I was
going to
say.
Founders Pack owner, you will be granted the new hulls and the new boat pieces, all for the Founders Pack.
Wahoo! Yes, that was the next one I was on. Another one. I mean, there's a couple of various ones. Maybe I'll combine these. But what about a pontoon? What about a trawling net? What about all of these extra pieces? What kind of ideas do we have for extra functional pieces? I think especially it seems like people are craving in the chat.
Yeah, we have a lot of those. I think for our base kit, what we want to start with is to really allow a swath of like foundational pieces that we think are really important, and then allowing the free building capabilities of a lot of other stations that exist. I think we want to start there, add a couple of unique stations that we think are going to be really fun and crucial for gameplay. Things like I really want to be able to respawn on my boat. Things like I want to be able to defend my boat. I think we want to answer those questions first, and then as the system develops, as we get feedback from our players about what they're missing, we would love to add more, fishing nets and battering rams and all sorts of awesome seafaring fantasies.
Hell yeah. What about being able to tether boats to your boat and haul them around?
Yeah, we had also looked at that. We thought about, water skis, if you could skim and attach to a boat and the
That'd be
boat
so
drags
fun.
you behind. We thought about, what are those parasails where you could drag a player behind and it's a glider attached to a boat? Those are all very cool. Those are all, we have like a list of all these awesome stations. Those would be great to do. I think we want to start with, again, like the foundational pieces, the pieces that we think like have to be in this, to get a great sense of like how players are using them, what are they responding to, and once we get a good idea of that, I think then hopefully we'll be able to expand into new and more exciting stations, right? Linking boats together, going water skiing with your friends, harpoons. There's a million things. Diving. We had an idea for wanting to do like a diving bell for underwater. All future stuff. But yeah, it's a system we're very excited about. I think has a lot of potential.
Awesome. And then we'll get to this one last boat question. There's one question we got, but that's kind of general gameplay, so we'll save that to the end. What about a pigment system to color our boats?
Yeah, we did consider that for coloring as well. Because of the setup of our boats, it's a little more challenging to be able to alter the color of them. We'd have to go back and do some material work and kind of like redo how things are authored, because they weren't originally authored to be like, to customize like this. So we aren't going to have any color options initially, or at least like being able to say I have hull A and then I have 5 different color options for this hull A. We do have different pieces that are different colors. And so you will be able to get, I think, a boat that feels uniquely yourself. But we would love to expand into different color options, different pattern options for sails. I think that's a kind of a classic thing that players love. So yeah, those are all like, I think, maybe boat building like 2.0 ideas that we're really excited about.
Awesome. Do we think we're ready to get into game and start showing off some boats?
Yeah.
Woohoo!
I think so.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Let me switch my stream source to one of these. I always forget which one it is. I think it's
Nighttime
chat.
and I'm nude.
Is it chat and cam? Chat and
I don't
cam.
know.
I mean, do you want help? It is really dark. Let's set up the nighttime. Woohoo! Look at us.
Hello.
Let me, can I like full screen this more?
Yeah.
Audio and display. What? Hopefully that's a little. Yes, we do have the hacks. Will we be able to build underwater in the future? That's probably pretty TBD. I mean, honestly, I think our default answer might be no. At least for like building fully underwater. I don't know if we like want to like support a fully underwater base and all of the like interesting like oxygen challenges and other gameplay questions that probably opens up. I know we'd like to fix the bugs where sometimes people can build things underwater and they get stuck. So I think if you're super into that, definitely keep suggesting it. We'll definitely evaluate it. But if I had to guess, that one's going to be a pretty hard problem to kick into.
Mm-hmm.
See, so what are you going to build, Ben?
Well, I'm going to build... Let's see. I've got my different hulls to choose from. Let me get up on this guy here.
And also, I'll show a little bit of the catalog to people while we're...
Yeah.
But yeah, you see that we'll have this whole like new sailing section in the menu with a bunch of little boat pieces. You'll be able to sort this. And then also, it's a little probably hard to tell from here, but you'll actually be able to build a bunch of different things just like we mentioned, like free placeables on your boat. I think including like small platforms, definitely including like decorations. Like I always put this little bird on the boat. I don't know why. I just think he goes on the boat.
I like an asymmetrical design.
And then you'll have the ability to actually like only show the boat compatible recipes. If you're building on the boat, but you hit some limitations, you're like, I don't understand what I can put on the boat. Hopefully we'll have a little affordance there for you to be able to sort that. Because there are going to be some restrictions, like you can't build the spirit anchor on your boat.
Come on.
Sorry. Anti-fun devs.
Let's see here. I need a sail, don't I?
No, you need a cannon.
I did this build the other day that I really loved.
Do you want me to move the cannon?
The dual winger.
Oop. Actually, let's make the bird shoot the cannon. Can I put the bird on the cannon? Oh, it doesn't have good collision yet. I assume once we update this to a real model, it'll have better collision.
You think?
Maybe.
No, it's perfect as is.
It's perfect. Maybe I can cheat it. Hold up.
Where should this
Hold.
sail go?
Oops, sorry, Kyle. Or Ben, whoever that was.
Look at this thing. Oh my goodness.
There we go. He's on the cannon.
Perfect.
Will we need to make ammo for the cannons? Yes. You will need to make ammo, but also you could use your friends as ammo. Someone get in this cannon.
Should I?
Well, actually, I wonder... Well, let's see. I guess I can go in it next. You can go in first.
Alright.
Oh, wait. Oh, hold on. I gotta delete the sail. We're still working on some camera clipping issues. So hopefully... Oh, wait. Maybe it's bugged? Is it the bird? Oh, the bird! Don't put the bird on top of the cannon. It turns out... But you'll be able to like actually like turn and rotate this. And then... So Ben is loaded in here right now. Boom! Everybody line up!
This is one of our favorite mechanics from Sea of Thieves. I think was the big inspiration for this.
Oh wait, do I have
but
to...
what's
Someone
really
shoot
cool,
me out of the cannon.
Okay. You can combine this with a glider, and it's actually quite nice.
You can also I could fire myself out the cannon, so you don't need an ally to fire you.
Shoo!
Woo! It's pretty fun. Woo! So you can put your sail back though if you want. Sorry, I blamed the sail, but it was the bird. Well, I'm gonna bump up my FOV so we can see more of the boat.
I think this is like... Oh, it's too small.
It's funny. So if we have cannons, we have gunpowder. If we have gunpowder, can we make flintlocks? I don't think we're planning to add guns yet. They haven't come to Nera yet.
No, yeah, not that. We haven't crossed that Age of Empires progression.
Do more sails increase our sailing speed?
They do, in fact, increase.
Yeah, actually, I can show that. So right now you'll see that my sailing speed is 550. And I will add another sail. It is kind of to a limit, I would say. So there will be like an effective like cap for it. But yeah, and so you can see my speed has gone up. And each boat I think has a different max speed cap, right?
Yes, depending on the hull that you use. Each hull can go a little bit faster.
Oh, look at this guy. That's a big boat.
Yeah, let's do a big boy. We need to get up to
Biggest sail. Actually, I really love those permutations of boats, Itsuko. Like, either the biggest boat with the tiniest sail or the tiniest boat with the biggest sail is, like, so funny. And And you can see this big block around me. That's like kind of the boat building volume. So there will be a kind of like effective like restriction for how far out you can build the boats. For a few reasons. Partially for performance, because I think we do want to be able to like let the boats be highly customizable, but that does mean they'll just need to have some limits because they're a little more complicated from a performance and optimization standpoint than like the regular base building. But also, we want to save you from making unreasonable boats that will not be able to like play the game.
Let me take off this guy here.
Let's see, how fast does the small hull go with the big sail? I think currently, though this is something we're kind of experimenting with or thinking about how we want to do it. Is it true, Ben, that how do you say it? That like all of the sails kind of like linearly increase the boat's speed?
Yes, that is true. All the sails influence their boats equally. So there's currently not one sail that is better than the others. Although we are considering maybe if we want to change that. We didn't want players to feel like there's like a best sail option, but we do, I think, also want to have you something to shoot for. If you want to improve your boat and get better, like that's something to go out and earn and gain knowledge in the knowledge tree and get like good resources. So we're considering that right now. You are lying.
Wee! Oh, man overboard.
I'll stop and get you. Kyle built a throne up top here.
My captain's chair.
And you can see that they're using the I don't know if we have a real name for it, but the like sailing stone right now. So they're kind of enabling the ability to control their boat controls from a centralized point instead of having to like engage the sails and the tiller individually.
Build a little station over here. Let's see. Let's get one. Storage.
Wait, why is there a... Did you put a torch in my build volume?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Some PvP, sorry.
under attack.
Oh, wait.
Hey!
Do we show the funny cannon bug?
You sunk our boat.
Oh, wait! What? Oh, it was a fish. I was like, you can't fight back, but you didn't know it was a fish. Wait. Oh, he sunk your boat?
Yeah.
Sunk it.
How?
There's currently the bug that
Oh, I
because the
forgot.
go through each other if you hit the boat. Oh,
I forgot. You need a res?
I've got one in my pocket. Now I'm in trouble. We're out in the seas.
Wait, you don't look like... Oh, did he like immediately kill you?
Yeah, I got revived and then he immediately.
Wow, the underwater looks actually really cool with a wide FOV.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Nice fish.
Are there different types of cannon ammo?
That is something we're working on right now, actually. We have a couple different ideas for things that we could use and materials we could source. So we are working on that currently.
Also, something I really like, though it might be somewhat... Maybe it's not controversial, I don't know. Is, we talked a lot about before, like, you know, should we make sure everything has to be, like, linked physically to the boat? Or is it, like, fun to be able to, like, build kind of, like, in the ether, but around the boat? We ended up defaulting to, like, letting it be possible, basically. Especially because you can technically cheese it anyway, so why make it much more difficult to do? But I love to do this, like, little surrounding, like, lantern build. I don't know, I just think
Your
it's really
spirit
fun.
boat?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like, it's magic. If you believe in magic.
What about our repair benches? Let's get practical.
Do you have plans on tweaking the maneuverability of solo boats? They are very sensitive to turn on controller and tend to turn too much. We did make a tweak actually already, but it might be that controller, because the joystick sensitivity is like separate, maybe we need to do some additional tweaks
Yeah,
for
it
a
could
controller.
Yes, it could be possible.
Weehee.
Oh my lord.
Do
Put that sail right there.
you like my creation?
You're gonna like it.
That would be helpful for navigating the deep. Someone said, so how's this idea? The larger sails on smaller hulls give more speed than they would on larger hulls, and smaller sails on the larger hulls give way less than they normally would.
Yeah, you could do that. Each boat's going to have like a limit that sails can increase the speed by. And so that's another way to kind of ensure that we like keep some sort of parity between them. And we don't want to have a system is where like 50 sails is the fastest boat, because we want these to feel like customizable aesthetically, and so we don't want to like incentivize building 10 million sails so that you can go 999 miles an hour. Can we make this? This is now here's a width question right here.
You got it. You got it. Not even close.
Yeah, I don't know. Whoa.
So wait, can we show the Tidal Resonator?
We can. The VFX is probably going to change a little bit, but
no. Oh, shoot. I meant to delete the repair bench, but I deleted the turtle totem. No.
For Omega speed.
Oh, wait. I gotta put the totem back. That's really important.
All right, put the totem back.
How else will people know it's a turtle boat? Okay, now the thing I was gonna also, I'm gonna set the time of day back. I know the sunset looked really good, but I was like, that's hard to stream it, I feel. Do you want to describe the Tidal Resonator a little bit?
Yeah, so we have different crystals that you can fashion in the game, and we wanted to basically create some way that you could like affect your boat's speed and maybe do other things in the future. So we came up with the concept of a resonator. This is a very TBD mesh you're seeing here. But the idea would be that you can essentially use this to send a signal through the crystal, and when you do that, it would call the spirits of Nera to come and aid you. So right now we've got this set up for like a tidal crystal that when you use it calls a lot of the water spirits and ocean spirits, and they will come help take your boat on a speedy adventure, basically.
And boom.
Jeez. We're using. Oh my god. This is with this boat with 3 sails and the resonator running.
We're so fast.
I am cruising right now.
Look how cute all the little mantas are.
Let's see. I gotta zoom out so I can see better.
I think my FOV like reset or something.
Woo!
Awesome. And then another mention in the chat was, what about limiting the number of sails instead of a solid speed cap? So maybe 2 sails for the small ship, 3 for the medium ship, 4 for the large ship.
We considered that as well. The thing in our early experiments is sails are such a fun way to change like the silhouette of your boat and to add personalization to it, that I was doing some initial concepts where I would just take all of our build kits and just like spray them around and see what I could make. And I had made this one like Mohawk boat that did have like 10 sails on it, and it was crazy looking, but I really liked it. And so we wanted to basically not necessarily set a limit where you can't build any more sails past X point. We could do a thing like the first 3 sails that you build are the ones that influence your speed, but we settled on a design where basically your boat has a kind of like a max cap. You can build as many sails as you want to customize it, so it can look as look out for these lines. So it can look as cool as you want. But yeah, that's what we settled on. So I'm driving this thing, dodging mines and explaining designs at the same time.
And now you're even faster.
And now I'm going even faster.
Oh, will the crystals? You mean the Tidal Resonator? Will that be able to be placed outside of the boats?
You can place it, but it currently does not have any effect. It only affects the speed of a boat. So we don't have any designs for what this could do when placed on land. But we do, from a creative perspective, if you wanted to like use this and I suppose activate it somewhere else besides the boat, you could still get the visual if you're willing to use one of your crystals.
That's actually what they said. Just curious for decorations.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of sunsets, sunset and sunrise are extremely bright in my game. Can barely look at them. Is there a way to fix this? That's interesting. We've never gotten that complete before. So I don't know if there's like maybe an interaction with like your monitor's gamma and like the game gamma or something like that. I don't know if the general gamma is too bright, but you might be able to like modify the gamma settings. Other than that, I don't know if there's any other settings, Ben, that you can think of that would like impact that.
Gamma would be the first one that I would think about. Yeah, that's what I would try. See if lowering your gamma helps that at all. You got too many sales. I think we
What?
just...
Too many sales.
I think so. I think so.
Also, someone said, this will make boats more relevant. I stopped using them because the skimmer was a lot easier. This is a great addition. Aw, thank you. I'm so glad you're excited about it. We are too.
We are too, yeah. Yeah, and we want them to feel like a partner. Let's go. Is this the... Oh, yeah, let's go down.
Oh.
See ya.
Oh, posture check. Oh my god. Oh yeah, we missed a hydrate redeem earlier too, so if you haven't hydrated in a bit, make sure to drink some water. Pull out the Stanley. Ben, where is it?
Stan? He's right here.
Hydrate.
Mm-hmm. Delicious.
He redeemed it twice. Now you have to drink twice.
You put 23 crystals in here? What are you doing?
That's free real estate. Oh my god, Billy.
Somewhere. I think.
Oh my god. Everybody wants... Does coffee count as hydrating? I think it doesn't, but that's all I got.
I think technically it's dehydrating.
It has water in it. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
Jar Jar says we are once again boat game.
There we go. Oh yeah, I like the cannon up top. That's a nice little like lookout station here.
Also, Itsuka, I see you have like a lot more ideas too for like the different kind of like boat balance limitations. Maybe it might be good to spin up a thread in Discord. I think we'd love to probably go back and forth with you there.
Mm-hmm. This is something we're still banding some ideas about. So yeah, please put your ideas in Discord.
No, it's okay. I'm glad you have so many ideas. I just want to make sure. I feel like Twitch chat is probably a hard way to communicate. So I want to make sure that we actually get a chance to talk to you. Crow's Nest added to the list, please.
Mm-hmm.
We want a Crow's
We
Nest
also
so
really
bad.
wanted to have that ability. You can put platforms on this. So you can get up. It's really actually to be up high on the boat is really such an awesome feeling. So yeah, we do have some platforms you can build to get up there. See, this is my kind of boat. Just a little. This is
a
like
little guy.
If I ran a water taxi in Nera and I was just had to take echoes from point A to point B, this is what I would make.
Also, we're reaching the end of the stream. There was one question that was a general gameplay question that I'll get to now, which was what about the let me actually pull it up just to make sure oh my god, there's so many tabs. I'm so sorry for everyone seeing my stupid alt tab thing. Where is the sheet? Any thoughts on being able to use the spear and the shield? And generally, do you have plans for different types of weapons? Yes, we have lots of plans and thoughts for different types of weapons. I think we'd really love to expand the combat arsenal and add like a lot more interesting, like both mechanics and new weapons and playstyles. We have some updates coming. They won't be new weapons, but with the end of year update 2 around companions and adding more interactions with combat and more interactions with your actual like weapons and abilities, which will start to scratch some of that itch, hopefully. But yeah, we definitely have plans to do that in the future. In terms of, I think, a specific shield and spear, we haven't like talked about it literally directly, but I think that's definitely on the table and is a pretty cool like, I don't know, what do you call those guys? Gladiator like fantasy. That would be really cool. Yeah, I want to be able to get my Sparta on. Yeah. Also, we're reaching the end of our stream, so any last questions that anyone has? Can we place can we place a postal? A postal? I mean a post?
Poster?
Oh, someone did ask about the mounting plaque earlier too. Oh, portal. You won't be able to place the actual this guy. Because as you see, also I don't know how big your boat would have to be to make this feel like reasonable. Kind of ginormous, but we are exploring, I think, some different options for respawning or teleporting to your boat. I guess, yeah, Ben, do you want to dig into that at all?
I think there's a lot of things to weigh with like how much access feels like what we don't want to do is like make boats into these just sort of like expendable checkpoints where you could just throw a teleporter on it and then build this like node system of boats that are just lingering all around your world and you can teleport to them. So we're exploring what the limitations to teleportation to boats could be, so that there's still like meaningful adventuring in the world, and we still want you to have to like set sail and earn your way into places. So still ideating on what that could be. This is nice.
Hi, Sweet Pie. Welcome to chat. Though we're about to wrap up our stream, unfortunately, so you might have to catch the VOD. Woo! But thanks everybody for tuning in. So as a reminder, the sale that's currently on the game right now will be ending tomorrow. So if you're still waiting to buy the game, or if you've been on the fence, there's a sale going on right now. So now's a good time to buy. And then this update where we've been showing the boats is coming in December for our end of year patch. So this is one of our two kind of big pieces of content in that patch. So this will be in your hands hopefully before the end of the year, along with our companion update, which we'll share in a future dev stream. But Ben, Kyle, is there anything you want to say before we head out?
No, this has been awesome. Really excited to get this in some of our creators' hands and see the absolute lunacy that you guys can create. So this is super exciting.
This is such a cute little sweet boat.
Appreciate you all tuning in.
Yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time for a future dev stream.
Bye.
And we'll raid out, but I'll go to the whatever the going away screen is. Thanks everybody. Thanks for watching. Transition.
You died.